My name is Walid Farag, and I am director of the Institute for Cybersecurity at Indiana University of Pennsylvania. I'm also professor of computer science. My talk today will address an interesting project, research project that we were involved in. The project focused on try to identify challenges facing cybersecurity education. In particular, we focus on soft skills for students studying at our institution and one other institution. The project was funded by the National Security Agency. It was a comprehensive project which consists of 6 different um, areas that worked collaboratively to help us achieve our goal. Again, the main goal was to focus on soft skills, particularly written and communications skills. The finding of the project helped us, particularly the research study, to design services and activities to help improve soft skills on our students. I'll give you just a big picture of the project activities and services. We have the research study. We'll actually discuss one component in this brief talk. We also designed the tutoring services to help students improve their communications and written skills. We reached out to different stakeholders in the area. And we are located in Western PA, so reached out to different school districts, community colleges, technical schools, and we've tried to involve many people of these stakeholders in the program and how we try to just provide a pipeline actually to students to our program and help them improve their skills. We held summer camp, we have several workshops, weekend workshops, and comprehensive web portal to basically host all of these activities and enable access to them. So this brief talk will focus on one component of that project, which is the research study, and we have 2 components under this research study. One of the, it's a QUAL-QUAN mixed mode study. In the quantitative actually component, we designed an instrument and we surveyed more than 300 undergraduate students studying at 2 different US-based institutions. One of them was our program and another collaborating institution. In the qualitative study, we have designed an interview protocol, and we have extensive interviews with 27 professionals working in the cybersecurity field. Some of them actually were even outside the United States. So collected data were just analyzed as as usual, and we compared the finding between the 2 components, and I try to verify and validate our finding, and also use these findings to improve and design the services that we offer already or we introduced as part of this project. So this is just a quick overview of the research methodology using 2 components which I just described. So the talk will focus, as I discussed earlier, on the quantitative components, and in this one, we wanted to really understand the background of our participants. So we designed our instruments to try to just ask them, how they feel about different areas or different content areas they studied during their high school, how these areas helped them just in their study as cybersecurity majors and computer science majors, and also how they perceive this to be helpful for them when they become professionals. And the focus was in 2 areas in this instrument. One of them, and just again in this set of courses, helping them to become successful in the field. The second one is based on just how they perceive writing, importance of writing, and soft skills in general. So we 2 main questions were included in this instruments, and they have sub areas, of course. So the first one is how they identify valuable courses that they took during the high schools. We asked this specific questions about actual courses they had taken. The second one was basically about just courses they wished in retrospective to take. And the last one is basically how they perceive major content areas that we cover in our curriculum as valuable for them just as students and as future professionals. Then the second component focused on, again, evaluating soft skills. We have asked our participants how they perceive importance of written and oral communications. We also have asked them about the proficiency in different writing skills and two oral skills. So to give you just a quick understanding of our participants here, so we are in a male-dominated field, which is not surprising. Unfortunately, it's not a good thing, but it's definitely you have the majority of our participants are male. Most of them are computer science and cybersecurity majors. We have some other majors from different disciplines like MIS, criminology, some science students taking cybersecurity and computer science courses. We also surveyed people across the spectrum. So we have just most of our participants as seniors. This is just a reflection of the courses that we administer the survey in. But also we have freshmen, sophomore, junior. So across the spectrum. Most of them identify themselves as speaking one language, English, and most of them identify themselves as native English speakers. This is an interesting, the last figure here, which is we asked them, after graduation, what do you like to pursue as a career? So the majority of our respondents identify the area of software and web development, as well as networking, and some other like IT and unsures. We have also that. But just you can see that very few people would like to join academia. So asking them a question about what courses they took in high school that they deem useful to their career as a future cyber professional. Actually, the largest group said none, which is very unfortunate, which is one of the things we consider as it's an interesting finding. So 40%, almost 40% said no. I didn't take any courses in high school that really helped me as a cybersecurity or computer science major. The next group, actually, about like 29% said programming courses. So, and other one, interesting finding also here is just 5%, literally 5% said that the predominantly offered courses in US high schools, which is office application courses. Probably every high school students take these courses. They really only 5% said they are useful for them as in this field. Asking them about what courses they wished they had taken or they wish they had taken to help them, and good news for all of us, just the absolute majority of them, about 67%, identified programming courses as something they would like to take, but they didn't have a chance. Many of them on the comment and feedback said, we didn't even have the chance to take, not just not taking it, the school district didn't offer it as an option for them. So asking them a question about how do you feel about different disciplines that we teach them? So, and this is in traditional most computer science curriculum and cybersecurity curriculum about operating systems, networking, software engineering, databases. And the absolute majority of them identify these either as very important or extremely important. And we're so glad to get a confirmation of something we usually assume or take for granted, but this is our student perspective here. We tried also to identify any group differences, statistically different group differences. Most of our data didn't really confirm to the parametric test assumption, so we used non-parametric tests like Mann-Whitney to identify if any statistical differences between the collected data or the result we obtain. And in most cases, we didn't find any statistical differences here. Statistical significant difference, with the exception of majors who I will just the data as I highlighted here in red, indicating that our major really just will identifying the importance of these courses, compared to non-majors, which is still a good news for us. They at least recognize the importance of this one, and the data that recognition was statistically significant compared to people who are not majoring in our fields. Regarding the other components here, and I know I have limited time, so basically trying to get the attitude towards writing, and there were no differences really in terms of gender and how they perceive the importance of writing. Most of them perceive it as very important, by the way. Whether they work on that, this is another question, but most of them really recognize the importance of oral communication. In terms of class standing, again, there was no major differences, with the exception of, again, senior. I will comment this on the conclusion, which is coming in seconds. So I have how many minutes? A couple of minutes or 3 minutes?
About 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Okay, great. So I promise that I will touch on the results of the qualitative research component, and this is again traditional just qual study in which we have interview protocols. We spend about over an hour in this protocol, in these interviews with professionals, face to face, and just some of them were online. So specific areas of concern that we got as a result of analyzing this data was people really highlighted the importance of writing in their own work, including grammar, the use of technical languages, and proofreading, and connecting to audience. In fact, one of the recommendations of most of these professionals was to offer workshops to try to teach students, entering this technical fields like cybersecurity and computer science, just how to write effective emails. Also, they stress the important rules that writing centers can work, and they highlight, the importance of trying to reach out more to students and faculty alike, and promote the services that writing centers, in different schools offer to all of our students. So in conclusion, there's definitely a real need for courses in high schools to help just our students become more successful in the field. And the very commonly offered courses, which is office application, almost all students deemed very, is not helpful at all for them in our field. About 67% of respondents indicate that programming courses in high schools would help them. But again, as I mentioned when we discussed the figure, they didn't have a chance to even have this many of them. Obtained results supported our initial assumption that students really recognize importance of major areas like networking in our fields. So study also confirmed the initial hypothesis that students would benefit from resources on high, when we try to offer resources to improve the soft skills and communication skills. So generally, there were no significant differences between various distribution we received. The only thing which I wanted to highlight here is our senior student ranked importance of writing skills higher than other groups, and some kind of interpretation of that, or just explanation, is in our curriculum in particular, we offer a couple of courses during their junior and senior years, which stress oral communication skills and improve them. They are seminar courses. So probably by the time students matured enough and were able to recognize the importance of that. So for more information about the project, the link is here in the slide, and I welcome any question if we have time for that.